Welcome to Magnify Your Message. Inspiration magnified.
A lot of times pain can be fuel for something positive or negative. It's how
That's
you
right.
choose it. It's how you make it. We chose to make it a positive thing to say, you know what, there's a lot of negativity out there. Let's just make a difference in the world.
That's right.
Welcome back to Magnify Your Message, the podcast where we explore the power of resilience, purpose, and the messages that change lives. I'm Cheryl Hunter, and today's episode is one that you will not want to miss. Joining me are Swehla and Todd Hunt, the dynamic duo behind Sustain the Change. With over 2 decades each in education and technology, and as certified coaches, Todd and Swehla bring a unique blend of corporate insight and personal transformation strategies. But what makes their message truly powerful isn't just their expertise, it's their story. Swehla courageously shares her journey through unimaginable loss and how she turned pain into a catalyst for change. Together, she and Todd introduce us to the concept of what they call fear setting, revealing how pain and fear can actually fuel growth, connection, and motivation. If you've ever faced adversity, felt stuck in the weight of challenges, or wondered how to turn struggle into strength, this episode is for you. Let's dive in. Hang on to your hats, folks. You are going to love this dynamic duo that you're going to meet now. Swehla and Todd Hunt. Welcome to the show.
Hey, I'm glad to be here, Cheryl. We're enjoying it. Love it.
Oh, what a treat. Who are you and what do you provide for the world?
So, my name is Swehla Hunt, and I am a life coach. And I am one of the founders of Sustain the Change.
Yes.
My name is Todd Hunt, and we've been helping men for over a long time. We also help women too, but we help get you a plan to move forward with your life. And, because we live it and we help other people, we hope we can share some things that can help people just move on from their life and do what they need to do.
Let's do it. So I'd love to hear your stories individually, collectively. How on earth did you come to do what you do?
So, after my second stillbirth, we decided that we wanted to. Well, first of all, before it was I decided that I did not want to become depressed, become filled with anxiety and fear. I just knew that that was going to happen. So I knew that that wasn't the answer. And I just said, you know what? I want to help people because there's so many other people out in the world that are going through hard times, but I want them to know that they don't have to stay stuck in their situation. And since Todd and I are both life coaches, what we wanted to do is help people to embrace and sustain their change with new holistic strategies. And that's what we decided to do. You want to take it from here?
Well, it was very, very painful losing a child, several children having and continue to having cycles, but you don't get stuck. And a lot of people get stuck
Right.
because they don't know how to move on. So sometimes you just need a plan and apply that to your life and just get going. You're going to make mistakes, but that's the reason why we said you just got to scrimple it up, start all over again. You can do it.
That's right.
You can recover. You can make it. And I just want to help someone out there today. Like, you can do this thing. And there's a lot of people out there to help you. And Cheryl, you know that.
Mhm.
Oh, I on one hand, my heart breaks for you both. And yet I'm so called forth because not for a moment are you be being down, having this be a pity party. It's like, hey, this happened, and now I'm going to turn it around and use it to benefit anybody else who is going through something similar, anybody else who is facing adversity. It
Mhm.
is heartwarming
Mm.
that you chose to do that with your pain. What a blessing.
And thank you. And we also realize, I'm glad that you said that, because that was just it, Cheryl. We realized that um, we don't have time to have a pity party. We just don't. I mean, yes, we allowed ourselves time to grieve, and that's very important to do. But I find when you're focused on something positive while grieving, it helps you to get through the process even a little bit faster and with a little bit more really energy. So it gives you a safe place and a wonderful place to place that pain.
Yeah.
And so it's amazing how that works.
Boy,
I
that
mean, I'm just telling you right now, we started off with a simple plan. We applied what we've learned on ourselves and said, okay,
Mhm.
a lot of times pain can be fuel for something positive or negative. It's how
That's
you
right.
choose it. It's how you make it. We chose to make it a positive thing, to say, you know what, there's a lot of negativity out there. Let's just make a difference in the world.
That's right.
And we'll talk about a little bit more some of the differences that we're in, but it started off with a simple plan of saying, let's just start from here and see where it goes.
yes.
And there's a myth. Then we learned this from Cheryl and Magnify Your Message, and I loved it. I loved it. But there are a lot of myths, out there. And one of the myths that we have learned is that, when you have pain, you cannot move or transition fast. But this is how we were able to transition with ease, because we replaced that pain. It's very important to place your pain in a positive spot. That's just the best way to say it, but that's it. And it has changed our lives, and we're still sustaining our change.
Mm-hmm.
We're still sustaining it.
Ooh, yes.
Mm.
There's something that you said about the pain can either fuel it can fuel you in one of two ways. I've never heard that before, but it's God, it's just so uplifting to hear what you've chosen to do with the pain, that it's
Mhm.
there for you to use in some way.
Yes.
I tell you, when I was overcoming the impact of the kidnapping, one of
Mhm.
the things that I found was, at first, I was asking God what I determined to be the wrong question. Why me?
Mhm. Mhm.
Lord, now I was a teenager, to my credit. I didn't know why me? And I realized after a spell, I was asking the wrong question. What should I do with this?
Right.
Was
That's the
the right
question.
Yes.
question. And
Yes.
it's somehow, as you're speaking, I realized that the pain became the purpose. And boy, you're so good. Do you know, I don't know that I've ever seen that before.
Mhm.
It was the reason to overcome it was to give it away.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
It's a gift. Actually, your pain is a gift
Mhm.
for someone else.
that is mind blowing. Talk about a myth bust right there.
That's what we learned,
See,
sure.
and Cheryl, like I said, a lot of times when people get pain, they want to stop. It's a natural reaction. You want to stop the world. You're because it's unfortunately we're selfish in nature. We got to take care of self. And so what happens is we get absorbed with that. The problem is when you stay there too long,
Mhm.
other people can't benefit from the blessing that you're about ready to give them
Mm,
just with by changing your life
that's
and
right.
changing other, because it gives someone hope to say, you overcame that. How did you do it? Teach me, help me. And that's where the help and aid comes from. So, a lot of times the trials and stuff that happen to you, they make you actually stronger if
Mhm.
you can endure and pass them and get that strength turned around.
So then when we're facing pain and we feel driven to just stop, I got to stop the world, pull the covers up over my head, whatever that looks like, right? Go out of circulation, drop out of
Mhm.
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 relationships, kind of just disappear. What should we be doing instead?
Purpose.
Purpose. And you should be saying to yourself that you just identify your fuel for the earth. You just identified.
And the crazy thing, Cheryl, that happens is when you understand your purpose and you start using it properly, it actually gives you energy.
Right.
It's the craziest thing. It actually gives you more energy than take away from you. That's how you know it's a gift. See,
That's right.
a lot of people don't want, I want to talk a little bit, don't walk in their gifting, and their gifting gives them energy to move forward to what they're supposed to give to the world. And it's a natural gift that God gives us, is that gift of energy of your gift. It gives more energy and takes away from you. That's how you know what's supposed to work for you.
You know, there's this commonly held belief that as we get older, energy just wanes. Hey, what can you
Right.
do? It's just a part of aging. And as you're speaking, I'm thinking, what if it's just that a person faces enough adversity and starts quitting and giving up and taking themselves away enough that there's just no energy left because of the way we've been responding to pain.
Yes.
And if we put ourselves back into it and find the purpose in it, holy moly, you are blowing my mind over here.
Oh, you know, and
I had to, and I'm gonna tell you something. The way you just described how a person feels, that's how I felt. I'm talking about I had just delivered, folk. I had just delivered my second, not first, but second stillbirth. We had lost so many other children. My mom has the count 10. We had lost so many children. And that's how I felt. But I decided it was just like I was laying there, it was fresh. I mean, I was in pain. I was laying there. I mean, it was just like right after you have your child. You know what I'm saying? That's how fresh. Okay. And at that point, I woke up and I was like, I'm not living like this. I'm not going to go down this depressed road. I'm not going to be, nobody's going to have to drag me, pull me up. No. And I'm sure there's other people. So that's what she's talking about, is the way that I felt. And when you feel that way, what are you supposed to do? Get up. That's what I did. I did not lay there anymore. I was in pain too, like physical pain. You remember that time? But I got up out of bed and I was like, Todd, I want to do something different.
Wow.
You get up. You don't stay there. You get up and you say, how can I use this to heal other people? And once you start doing that, you share with other people. When you hold it in, you're not giving the gift, because guess what? There's always somebody that needs your pain. Now that sounds funny, but what that means is what you're going through, that trial, when you share with other people, they're healing. You're actually helping other people to heal when you share. So I guess the first thing is to get up. The second thing is to start sharing.
Wow.
And let me tell you, Cheryl, you know, when you understand your gift, the gifting part, discover your new gift, discover your new purpose. And what happens then from there, it starts moving you, Cheryl. That's the thing that was happening, is that after we started doing that, you start, and then you know, you don't have to have an elaborate plan. Just start with a simple plan. Start with something very simple to get you motivated. Start from wherever you're at. Watch it grow, because as a result of it, I guess, you know, how much time we have left to talk about the things that occur from it. So basically, in essence, you know, I started writing. I'm not a writer. I started writing. And what happened was they gave me energy, and I started write these plays and started writing these scripts. And pretty soon I got connected to people, because that energy starts pushing you towards the people that need your gift.
That's right.
See, a lot of times people waste it on trying to impress somebody instead of finding the right people that appreciate what you have. You teach that also, Matt. Find your audience. Because there's always somebody that needs what you have, but just don't stay with people that, you know, you're trying to beat over head, they're not looking at, they're just not ready for you. And that's what we started to do. And now we're on radio. Now we're working with Corleone Records, you know, who also used to work with Wu-Tang Clan there.
We're on movies.
Yeah, we're in movies.
We're doing a whole lot of things just from that one decision
Mhm.
to
Mm,
get up.
I'm gonna get up.
One
I
decision.
what there was a quote that I heard about the moment we move, the whole world steps in. I have got to look this up. And then the whole,
Yes.
I
and that
love
when
that.
we committedly step into action, I'm literally pulling this up right now.
Yes.
Okay, William Hutchison Murray. Here it goes. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there's one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans.
Mhm.
That the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too.
Mm.
All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues forth from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents, meetings, and material assistance which no man could have dreamed would have come his way. Wow.
That's
I
wild.
it's that's exactly what you're saying.
Mhm.
You made that decision committedly in
Mhm.
bed at your what could have been considered your darkest hour.
It
Mhm.
was. Yep.
You said, "No,
Yeah.
I'm not going down that path." And you stood despite the physical, mental, emotional pain.
And I know this is not a
You
Magnify Your Message shout out, but I'm gonna give a shout out because you taught us something in the class,
She really did.
and that is to reach out to people. I reached out to people that probably, famous people, just to see. And Cheryl, I tell you, a year later, a famous radio person contacted me. I'm gonna give a shout out to my girl NJ Parker from Magnify Your Message, and she says, "Todd, I like what you have," and that's how I got on the radio show in Chicago with Bonnie DeShawn. That's my girl. She used to work with a guy named Tom Joyner. He was on 60 Minutes. You can look him up and stuff like that. But the whole point is that it opened up a whole lot of doors because you resonate with people you try to connect with. Go right, don't be afraid to respond. They may or may not respond, but if they do, that connection that you have and that gift, that's your opportunity. So,
And when you're reaching out and building those relationships
Mm-hmm.
and heck yes, I know who Tom Joyner is from the Tom Joyner Morning Show.
And
I'm
his
like,
cousin Ed Joyner too. I'm
yeah,
working with him too.
"Oh my
He's a
god."
promoter too.
You've got the message dialed in and you're
mhm.
building these
Combination.
relationships. Wow, 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 wow.
And it makes a big difference, folks. And like I say, if you don't try it, and you gotta try it. So that's the other thing too. A lot of people make plans but don't commit to it. You just said that.
Mhm.
You don't commit to your plan. Commit to it. Give it a try. See if it's going to work. And the problem is a lot of people don't commit to it. They just they halfway try, or I don't believe it and not try it all. Try the steps. Try the things that you're being taught. Give it. We call it the old college try. Give it the effort necessary that you put into it. A lot of people stop at the plan. Once again, I'm doing another shout out there. But you got to execute your plan that's for you. Everybody has a different way of doing it. Not everybody does the same. That's why one size does not fit all.
It does.
You got to customize it for how you work, how you deal with things, and how you assess things.
And that's really what we do with Sustain the Change. Everyone had, first of all, transitions. Change is the end result, but transitions are what gets you to the change. Breathe through each of those transitions because those transitions are setting you up for your ultimate change.
What does that look like
Ooh.
when what do you mean by transitions?
So, like I said, change is pretty much the result. Transition is actually the process. It's like so for instance, let's say you're moving, okay, and you have all of these literally moving. Let's say you're moving from your house. That can be quite a lot. But so there's different things that you will need to face along the way to help you to get to that result. So for me, healing from what happened with me, I had the transition of physical transition where my body, I had to heal through that. Maybe, and I had to go through the different phases of, that's all part of transition, the phases, all of that, that's transition. The sustain part is sustaining through all of that. I don't like to say mess. I like to say material. You want to sustain through all of that. Like, okay, I got to this step, now this step, then that step. All of those steps that you achieve or get through. That's your trend. Those are your transitions.
And if I can add, Cheryl, real quick,
Please.
there's always a mover. If you
Mhm.
want to change, there has to be a mover to ignite that change. Otherwise, you're going to stay where you're at. If you're happy, you're not going to move. If you're satisfied, you're not. But if something comes in that you're not satisfied with, that's a mover. It starts from there. And unfortunately, and fortunately, sometimes pain is a mover for you to do something different. Then if you have clarity and you can say, hey, I have an idea how to start, guess what? That's just the steps it takes. And then you'll most likely hit your target with a plan.
Understood. So it sounds as though somebody's just cruising along in life and then has something unexpected, even unwanted, happen to them.
That's
And
right.
you're calling that an event a mover.
Yes.
Yes.
And that event we can use in one of two ways. We can use it to take us down and bemoan our fate. Lord,
That's
why in the
it.
heck did you let this happen? Or we can let it can move us down, 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 or we can let it propel us upward.
Yeah.
And then there's a formula
Yep.
to have it propel us upward. Is that
That's it.
correct?
That
That's
is
it.
correct.
And there's a formula to get you out of it going down too. We have two. We have two.
And
Mhm.
Cheryl, just to add to it, we started a little movie company from scratch, zero budget, by the way, but the idea was to help people who wanted to be on the come up. And
Yeah.
Cheryl, things open up for you. That's how we got
Mhm.
to work with a lot of comedians and stuff like that. They weren't getting an opportunity for whatever reason. We had, coaches, acting coaches say, hey, work with these guys over here. And then we try to provide a movie for it and we just build them up. And have to say, a lot of them have taken off and done well.
But we're using that same thing of helping them, what she's talking about, helping them propel because they had a lot of fear. So, I did not coin this phrase, but I love it. Fear setting is something that I do that we do all of the time. And we do it in our life. Look, what we're doing with you all, we do with ourselves. So fear setting, we know what goal setting is, but fear setting helps you to continue to propel. You're gonna always propel. You
What
want to
in
know
the
what it is?
dickens? What is fear setting?
So
I've
fear,
never heard that in my life. I'm like, I got to get out more or just hang
so
out with Todd and Swehla. What is fear setting?
So what fear setting is basically you're writing down your fears. You're writing down like, whatever is stopping you or slowing you down from doing what you want to do, whatever this event that you want to do. Then you're writing down in the next column what you will do. You're planning. You will do if the worst happened. If that fear happened, what are you going to do? And then the second thing, the last column is going to be how you will prevent this from happening. See, that's how you transition with ease, folks. You plan to not fail. That's it. That's all you do. That's how the message that, remember the article transitioning with ease, it was, powerful because it helps people to be able to do anything that they're trying to do without ease. I did not make up fear setting, but I use it all of the time if you look it up, the gentleman there, we'll get that name for you in just a second.
Oh,
I'm at block, but yes,
Yeah.
that's
you
what
are
we do, and it's amazing.
yes. So, okay, connect the dots. You've got life coaching, speaking, this whole world of helping people overcome those
Mhm,
mover events, the
mhm.
stuff that would be seen as adversity, challenge, trauma, difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
What's the connection then? How do you start doing radio and music and movies? Connect the dots.
Great point. Everything we did, we tried to help the people we were working with
To get from
and
one
a place
place,
to another. And some of them said, Todd, can you help me do this? Sure, I'll show you how.
or
That's how,
Swehla.
or Swela, that's how we got on the radio. It's like, okay, can you show me how to? And these people are famous. I'm like, sure, I mean,
Mhm.
I'll help you. And then I became a regular on their show.
Mhm.
And so then the movie thing came out where, we're working with some famous rappers. We won't mention all their names here. They were like, hey, you think you can kind of do this and this? Let's try. Fear setting. Never done it before. Let's get a plan. Let's have an attack way and let's learn. You're going to learn forever. Be life learners.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're growing and you're helping people, guess what? It just opens up other opportunities for you because your whole desire is to make a difference in everybody.
And I think the other thing too is we're helping people to discover who they are.
Yeah.
So many people want to, do it the way Swayla does it, or Todd or Cheryl does it, but it's not going to work because you're not us. So everyone is unique. So you have to be willing to discover who you are. It's a wonderful piece. It's a wonderful piece because then you actually know the way that I learn my lines is different the way he learns his lines. But at the end of the day, we're both great. You know what I'm saying? And you're great too. You have to embrace that you're great.
Can I add one more thing? We also have a podcast called Mom and Dad Talks. And my mom and dad have grown. These are non-technical people. They're analog people. My dad's a teacher, retired because he didn't want to deal with technology. And we use this technique to help them get past it, where now they just love being on the show. Hey, when we're going to do it again? And they're making changes in people's lives and seeing the emails, seeing, if I happen to miss a podcast, I'm going to get loaded up in my message box, Todd, what happened? And it's good to know that you're making a difference in everybody's lives and putting a smile on their face. It's my mom and dad. It's their viewpoint of the world. Whether you like it or not, it's their viewpoint. And making people happy, trying to understand them. So that's how some connects there.
It's like working with just, we want people to be comfortable. We want people to feel comfortable to take that first step, no matter what it is. And at the end of the day, Cheryl, we want whatever they've accomplished, whatever joy that they feel inside, that they are able to sustain it. And they're able to sustain it because they start figuring out who they are. And they start loving who they are and embracing who they are and being who they are. That's what it is.
What a gift to give the world. Especially now when if you look at the screen time among young people, and let's face it, older people, and how much we're influenced by let's use the actual name, influencers.
That's
Trying
right.
to be like them and
Yes.
emulate them and look like them and dress like them. Boy, the notion of finding out who you are and being fully you, it's an idea whose time has definitely come.
Let's just be real. You're uniquely and wonderfully made. There's nobody on the planet that is
You're
like
amazing,
you
y'all.
ever. Just know that. No one before you or after you. But you're on this planet to do something special. Let's find out as quick as we can so you can do what you're called to do to make a difference in this world and be a positive. You need positive once again or negative. A lot of people tend to be selfish. Everything's self-absorbed. That's why that negativity kicks in. But when you give, it has a way of giving back to you. Things open up for you. Why? Because you're making a difference in the world.
And so then for instance, the children that we don't have children, but our children tend to now be the things that we birth. All of these, we have all of these different organizations and different things that we do. Those are our kids. And there's enough to do to give birth to this world. That's what God was showing me too. There's enough things to do, to pour into people, to help people to grow. That's what you do with your children, right? You pour into them, you help them to be these great people. God's like, there's everybody can do that. And it doesn't have to just be through the way you think it should be.
And on Tuesday nights, I do this free for the community for 30 minutes. Any young person that wants to be better, I give them 30 minutes. We have a Zoom session. Kids from the community have been doing it for about 10 years now. Just come on here and let's try to reach your goals. And we use the techniques, and it's accountability sessions for them to reach their goals and see where they're going. And we've helped so many young people reach their goals and become committed. I can't tell you the countless letters we got from parents saying thank you.
Even kids in juvenile systems and things.
Oh yeah. Oh,
all kinds of things we've helped. So
yeah.
we've said a lot, but we enjoy pouring into people. That's just the main thing.
Oh boy, does that resonate. I'll make sure and get, for the liner notes of this episode, I'll ask you to provide all the places people can reach out to you, including where young people can come. Just while we're on the topic, where can people find you?
Nick, but we do have our website up, Sustain the Changes. That's our speakers bureau, but we also provide these services. The email's right there, sustainthechanges@gmail.com. Contact us. We'll try to work with you. Yeah, go ahead.
And we're on Facebook. We're on all of them. Twitter. We're on.
Great. And I'll make sure all of that is included in the liner notes of the episode so people can find you and learn more about everything you do. It's
Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl.
absolutely. Swehla, you'd said something about the Lord guiding you to that. Okay, so it's not going to be physical children, but there are other things that you can birth. I don't know that I've ever heard anybody say that. And I haven't talked about my own fertility journey, and I'm not blessed with children, although in a way that's not dissimilar from yours, tried for way more than a decade. And I finally took heart in, well, I guess God wants me to be a mother to and give birth to my work and the work that I do in the world. And there's so many ways in this beautiful conversation from you two today that I'm finding, God, I just feel like we're kindred spirits in so many ways, using adversity as the biggest gift that people can use to propel themselves upward. And this whole piece about, well, the Lord didn't have a physical child or children on the agenda for me.
For us.
What did he have? Boy, it's remarkable. And it's as you're speaking about all of it, these very disparate, divergent elements, the radio, the TV, the helping kids, the life coaching, your message. At first it sounded disjointed. I was like, wow, I'm so interested. You're so multifaceted. But now what I'm hearing is that it's that one core message, and you're using all those avenues.
That's
to
it.
bring that help out to the world. That's right?
Yes, that's it.
That's it.
And I know in Magnify Your Message, you kept saying that it's not just this one path. I mean, like it's gonna keep ballooning out. And we talked about ways, but it actually really does. Like your message can I like the word balloon out, but it can stretch out to women, men, children, TV. I mean, we didn't know it was gonna stretch out to TV, movies. I mean, all these different radio. I mean, it spreads, but that's what happens when and I hate to put it this way, but my husband already said it. When we're not selfish with our pain, that's just what happens. When you just let it go and just let it do what it's supposed to do, all of these,
It will connect you
it
to
will
people
connect you to so many different people.
because everybody has pain to varying degrees. And you're the reliever of those pains. You're the antidote. You're kind of like the aspirin
Right.
that people are looking for. And that pain just makes a big difference in people's lives,
It's
especially how you get through it.
right.
That, you know, that's the key.
And so, sometimes, and now I have to be open to the way, and I'm a believer, so
We're both.
we both are believers. So I hope we're not offending anyone, but if you're not a believer, then just really search your heart, but I have to figure out, we learned that sometimes God's going to have me sing a song. Sometimes he's going to have us speak. Sometimes we're going to be on a podcast. Sometimes let's leave ourselves open to how we're going to be utilized. That's just the main thing. And then go and just.
And can I add to that? Live in the moment.
Yes.
When someone's in front of you, they're the most important person at that time. And don't always try going for the next. Take advantage of the moment. You miss so many wonderful opportunities when you're trying to go for the next or try to get there. Sometimes the person right in front of you is the most important person, and we miss a great opportunity. Everybody that comes to you, try to make it a special moment with them. That's the way that's the way I try to live. So, if you pull me aside, I remember, we just did this movie and this lady said, I know you from somewhere. I'm like, I don't know what fame is. I'm like, you do? I was looking around and, she was kind of homeless, but, she sat right next to me in the Chipotle. Can I sit next to you? I said, yes. And for her, that moment to her was a joy to her to sit next to me, even though my wife sits next to me all the time. But for her, for that moment was very special for her. And then she had a smile on her face. I said, you know what? I put a smile on somebody's face that I didn't even know.
As you're speaking, there's so many golden nuggets. And I'm thinking, boy, did these two know how to throw out the sound bites. It's it's like whether it's being present and in the moment where you're dedicated to one thing, the person in front of you, or it's we're not selfish with our pain. I've never heard anything like that in my whole life. Selfish with your pain? Wait, what? People aren't talking about that. They're talking about selfish with my gifts or my money,
Right.
my time, my pain. Wait, that just begs the question, what? Tell me more. I bet you get asked about that all the time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they always say, Todd, how can you do it? Well, first of all, if you're a believer, you know that God doesn't put anything in your way you can't handle. You got to believe that. Anything you do in life, you can actually, if you didn't die from it, you can actually overcome it. And that's what you just have to hold on to. But you got to know that, hey, what is that next? What is your gifting and how do I move on from there?
And being selfish with your pain is something happens to you and then you just shut off. You shut off the world. You're done for life. Woe is me.
And
you're mad. You're ticked. You're doing angry raps. I mean, it's okay. But at some point, somebody needs you to share with them. And look, you will be led to these people. So you don't have to really go out and look for them. You have to be in a available state. And that's really what it comes down to, is not being selfish with your pain means I am an open book to people. That's really what it really boils down to. And I will share it with anybody. I have found even just in speaking these weeks, I'm happy that I keep getting opportunities, but wow, it's been every week. So I'm happy though with that, because I'll just say a blurb Thank you, Cheryl. I'll just say a blurb and then boom. People afterwards are coming up going, "Hey, I'm so glad that you shared that because I've lost like 4 kids and I never like to talk about it, but that one little piece." But imagine had I not said that. So that's what I'm saying.
A lot of people suffer in their own pain.
Mm-hmm.
And they unnecessarily because you hold in, hey, antidote to help them get out of it and stuff, you know.
And what better person? That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
What better person can help you than somebody that's been through what you've been through, man?
That's right. You understand what they're going through and take that understanding and make a difference. And I know we're up to the minute there, but I just hit my boy up, E.T. Some of you know E.T., the hip hop preacher. I said, bro, what you doing? He said, I'm ministering.
And that's
Here's the #1 speaker in the world, and he still ministers to people.
Yeah, that's what he does.
He's still relevant. People, the only way you can stay relevant is making a difference. And trust me, there's so many high places you can ride on making a difference where you are, and you start here. And you can overcome anything that you have. Just start here. Restart.
Yes.
If everything blows up, restart over.
Start here with the person right in front of you.
Yes. Yeah. In fact, we really want you to start with you.
Yeah.
We want you to look at yourself in the mirror and start with that person.
And say, what's next?
What's next? What am I supposed to do? Why am I here?
Yeah.
And if you don't know why and it takes you a while to figure it out, I promise you, if you're open and say, I just want to know, you're going to find out. Look where it hurts the most.
And trust me, we've been blown up so many times. It's not even funny, Cheryl. It's not even funny. We've faced so much pain. But you know what? We didn't stop. I'm glad we did.
We use this to fuel us. We don't use it to bring us down. We also don't use it to bring down other people either. We use it to energize the world. That's your energy. Yeah. That's your energy. You can talk it up. You can birth some new births with it. So just embrace who you are, man. Just embrace.
You have put a whole new dictionary definition together for pain. It can be the way we take ourselves and each other down, or it can be that which gives our lives purpose and energizes us and everyone around us. Thank you for this gift today.
Thank you for having us on here, Cheryl. You know, it's been a minute, but thank you.
It is a delight to be with you and witness firsthand the difference you're making. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for today's episode. I hope you were as inspired as I was with Swehla and Todd's wisdom, resilience, and commitment to helping others navigate life's challenges. If today's episode spoke to you, if you've been carrying pain and wondering how to turn it into purpose, I hope that you walk away knowing that transformation is possible. Remember, acknowledging your struggles isn't weakness. It's the first step toward growth. That's it for today on Magnify Your Message. Join us next time for more conversations that empower, uplift, and inspire. Until then, keep sharing your message. It matters more than you know. See you next time. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, and share this episode with everyone that you feel it would benefit. Thank you in advance. And when you're ready to share your story and your work with the world, I can help. Visit CherylHunter.com to learn how. I am Cheryl Hunter, and until next time, know that your message has the power to change the world.